and you say Shy City and around the world. Welcome to another episode of Chicago's ILLectuals podcast. And today we have none other than Romie Thompson. We affectionately call him Sean. What's up, brother?
How you doing, brother?
What's happening, man? So good to finally get you here, man. I've been begging you for a minute.
Here I is. Here I is.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and introduce the world to Sean, man. Tell the world a little bit about your background, the neighborhood you grew up in, the schools you went to, things of that nature.
What's up, man? Romie Sean Thompson is my name. Man, I grew up in the Hyde Park, Kenwood area. I grew up at 4825 South Drexel. I attended Revis, I attended Lewisworth, and I attended the Kenwood Academy. And then later on, I went to Chicago State.
Yeah.
Man, I grew up slightly in Woodlawn on 62nd and University. And then around time I turned 5 or 6, my mom moved to 48th from Drexel. And that's where I came into my own. So
the infamous Drexside.
Drexside, indeed. Indeed.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Sean. What are your values?
Man, my values is what I developed in the military, man. It's just like, man, I want to treat people like I want to be treated. I want anything that I touch to be better off when I leave.
Yeah.
I want to each one, teach one, reach one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My personal is a lot of my values is honestly I developed after I left Chicago. And this is when I joined the military. And it was just like my values is discipline, integrity, hard work, respect, a lot of things that life skills. Those are just, my values are basically good life skills. You want to be respectful. You want to treat people with respect. I try to learn something new every day.
Yeah.
I never stop trying to learn. So.
Yeah, man, I want for my brother what I want for myself.
Yes, sir.
And that's pretty much the law of nature and the law of karma, right?
Yes.
So-called haters, you never see them with much because they don't want you to have anything. But I can only have what I want you to have, what I wish for you. So that's right on point, man. So where'd you get your early mindset? Who were some of your early influences?
Well, I came up behind growing up.
Yeah.
I witnessed the rise of gangs. It started out, so a lot of my early influence and mindset was I wanted to be like the dudes that were calling shots.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a leader, not a follower. But I also wanted to be cool. So one of my earlier influences was Walter Monty Knowles.
Monty. Oh my God, that's one of my homies, man.
Monty was one because he was what we call an intellectual thug.
Oh, rest in peace, brother.
That
just hit me, man.
He was the cat. He was the prototype of, I think, everything everybody wanted to be. He was cool. Everybody loved him. He was an athlete, so he can ball.
He can hoop, yeah.
Yeah, he was a ladies' man.
Ladies loved him. That's right.
Yes, but people respected him,
and he wasn't no sucker.
So watching him growing up early on, although our relationship was kind of tense, I used to look at my brother Roger like that.
Yeah.
For a minute, because he was kind of following in Monty's footsteps, trying to be an educator, the understanding that, the streets are there, but it's money to be made elsewhere.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things. I looked at them then I looked at Monty because, again, he went against the grain, and he blazed his own path in the sense that, he may have been stoned, but man, I'm going to class.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm going to work.
Mm-hmm.
He had his priorities in order. So that was one of the things that I learned, like, have your priorities in order.
Yeah, my brother, he probably looking down on us right now, smiling, man. Yeah, that's cool. So let's talk a little bit about tech, man.
What's
How did
up?
you get into tech? How did you get into IT?
Well, my journey has been that of a jack of all trade, master of none.
Okay.
You know, I was in the military for 10 years. When I got out, did a couple of few jobs here and there. And then I started working for the post office. I was a mailman. Good money, decent job. But one of the things I hated was working on Saturdays.
Mm,
That just didn't sit right with me. So um because I was in the military, I knew I had my GI Bill.
hmm
So I figured like I'll go back to school, go get me a degree. And at the time, I had two choices. I either want to be an occupational therapist
hmm
or I want to be a computer scientist. So when I went to talk to my advisor, he just asked me straight up, he was like, listen, which one would you do for free?
Mm,
He's like, go where your passion lies.
that's right.
And at the time, I was a nerd geek, so computers always fascinate me. So I knew I wanted something to be in and around computers. So that was my introduction to figuring like, okay, I'm gonna go get this computer science degree.
Okay.
And then did a couple of work studies at Chicago State. Uh, then I got an internship at Abbott Laboratories,
Okay.
and I just like, man, I found something that I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't complain about getting up going to work because I'm going to do something I enjoy doing. So
Yeah.
that is, how I got into IT and why I love it because it's something I would do for free. It's, when I'm not doing nothing, I'm at the crib on my computer doing this, doing that.
Yeah.
So it's just
So, in
so
what capacity of IT are you working in with the university system? Because you work with the university system.
right.
Yes.
Right
Okay.
now I'm with the University of Illinois, Chicago. I'm working at the College of Man.
Okay.
Where uh I work in a simulation. I keep forgetting the acronym, but I have my business card here. I, I work in the Simulation and Integrative Learning Institute, or SAIL. So what we do is our unit is what residents come to practice, so to speak. And what we have technology based simulation, like we have mannequin robots with sensors and points that mimic human reactions. Like if we want somebody to be heavy and breathe, the mannequins can do that.
Right.
So we have that aspect, and then we have human based where we have actors come in pretending like, oh, I'm sick and this like that. And so I manage the IT for this department.
Oh man, that's cool. Oh, you're the manager.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man. Congratulations on that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
proud of you, brother. Look, let's talk a little bit about what it was like growing up in Hyde Park, Drexide, uh, when Harold Washington was mayor. Do you remember that?
Yes. It was just pride, you
Mhm.
know, new way he stayed.
Yeah.
And again, our rich history is what because I grew up when I was in the neighborhood, Ali stayed in the neighborhood.
Mm.
Farrakhan, we used to see him all the time.
And we're
You
good
know what I'm
friends
saying?
with our
So
children, right?
Harold Watson, so being around successful black men,
Yeah.
it's just, it was something that made you aspire to be something. And then when you would walk into and meet them and see them, we'd go past Ali house, he'd call us over there and he just dropped gems.
Yeah.
Farrakhan dropped them gems.
Yeah.
Harold Washington dropped them gems. And then there was a closer connection because his fiance was my grammar school teacher at Revers.
Really?
Yeah, Miss Smith.
Oh my goodness, man. Look how that comes full circle.
So it was like you felt kind of close
Mhm.
to it because you knew her and you like, oh, okay, she's there. And then I forgot about Jesse because I was 2 blocks from Operation Push. So,
Mhm.
just being around strong black men,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Successful, strong black men. That would, that allows us to believe that we could be anything we wanted.
Yeah. 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 You remember those Kenwood basketball tournaments? I don't know why I'm asking you that because I know you do. Can you talk?
YVI, of course.
Can you
Or
talk a little bit about the tournaments, man?
I'm sorry, it started as the Murray tournament.
Right.
It
Murray
was at
Park.
Murray,
Yeah.
and it outgrew Murray, and then it went to Kenwood and became the YVI. So yeah, that was like a summer, every summer. So
Phenomenon.
yeah, it was like every summer. We knew that's where we were going to be.
Yeah.
We would go watch the games, lead the games, go up on 53rd, and then go to the point
Right.
all the time. So yeah, just watching future NBA stars. And again, a lot of us wasn't starstruck growing up
Right.
because we used to see them so much.
Yeah.
So just to be in the presence of a Tim Hardaway,
Mhm.
Mark Aguirre, Terry Cummings, all these people you going see on TV, because at the time DePaul was popping,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So just to see them, it was just like, man, they were down to earth.
Yeah.
So, but then the games used to be off the chain, and the neighborhood used to have a team, the Black Grapes, Omar and the Black Grapes. So
Yeah.
we had to go root for our team because that was all the game bangers that can ball. So I used to like watching them. Although they never won, it was always good.
Mhm. That was like our Rucker, right?
Yep.
That was like our Rucker, man. Oh man, what a time, what a time. So what are you presently working on, Sean?
Man, I'm presently at the gig. I'm presently trying to implement AI into what we do. So what now? I'm just doing research as to how I can plug AI into some things that we do with the human-based and technology-based simulation.
Mhm.
So that's something that I'm working on because AI is new. I'm learning, and then as I learn, I can see where it can fit to what we're doing here.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about the diversity of some of the populations that you work with? Because you are a manager after all.
Well, again, I've been fortunate enough to work with a diverse group of people,
Mhm.
and in that diversity, being around my people of leadership. So it's good to be around. So I would, it's always nice to get different perspectives. So, like in my unit now, we have a lot of females,
Mhm.
we have a lot of alternative lifestyle people,
Mhm.
and we have Hispanic, we have Black, we have white, we have Indian, and we're just, everybody's just a melting pot.
Okay.
And, I think that I learned that from the military that, diversity is a good thing. I mean, it gets you out of that mindset of thinking that stereotypes.
Yeah.
It got me out of stereotypes, being around different people, because I learned early on that Black people are assholes too. And you can meet white people that are cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I
This
can't
is that.
stereotype and just think all white people are bad and all Black people are good, because I had to encounter Black people that were assholes to me for no other reason. And I had white people go out of their way to help me or make me a better person. So it's it was that then I learned that to take a step back and just learn how to accept a person without looking at their skin color. Good is good, bad is bad, right is right, wrong is wrong, no matter what color you are.
Yeah, we have assets and liabilities in all cultures, man.
Right. So it's not I try to stay away from stereotyping people because I don't want to be stereotyped.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so working with that, I'm kind of mindful of being open and helping people understand us and our culture a little bit better.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of them do have stereotypes of about us, have never worked around us, and then when they get around me and they were like, "Oh, you're different." No, I'm actually kind
Actually,
of
I'm
like
not.
I'm
Right.
not different. I'm actually
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah.
It's the ones that you thinking about that are different. You know what I'm saying?
That's the outliers, right?
Right,
Yeah. So what are your future aspirations, Sean?
man. I I don't want to be rich. I don't want to be famous. I just want to be happy.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy my life. I want to learn. I want to watch my kids grow. I want to become a grandparent. I just want to live. I just, again, I've never had like, I want to be the richest. I want to be famous. I want to be powerful. My thing was, I just want to be happy. I
Mm-hmm.
was happy in poverty. I was happy with money. I just want to be happy. And if I could find my happiness, my peace, my lane, that's where I want to be.
I hear that, brother. I hear that. Give us your take on mentorship. How important, if at all, is mentorship to you?
It's very important. It's very important because I think one of the things that I hate about my generation and my neighborhood, for the fact, is that when we became successful, we left. Our neighborhood kind of went down. So I think I owe it to my neighborhood to come back and do something positive. I owe it to my ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I also, a couple of my mentees was from mothers who just came up to me and be like, Romie, I've seen you. I like how you get down.
Yeah.
I have a son, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And can you help me with them?
Yeah.
Of course. Of course. And I was able to come in, gain their respect, and help them navigate what they were going through. One was suicidal because his thing was he didn't think nobody was listening to him. And so I like to listen. I like to hear, because the thing about being a mentor is you have to accept some of these kids' truth. Even though you don't like it, you have to learn how to accept it. And that's the only way they're going to connect with you, if they know you hear them.
Yep.
Yeah, and like I said, but I think that mentors are like counselors.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if they can see a need to help people, I think you should. If I see one of mine struggling, I I was raised by my neighborhood. I was raised by my village.
Yeah.
I was raised by, if I was doing something and somebody else's mama saw me, I was getting checked by their mama, and then she gonna tell my mama I'm getting checked by my mama.
Mm-hmm.
I was raised by a village. We don't have that village, so I think we need to bring the village back. You know what I'm saying? But that's a double-edged sword, because now the village won't help.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just try to fit in, get in where I fit in. If I see that I could help or be of service to someone, that's what I do. Um, so again, I think it's on all of us to be of service.
Yeah. Were there specific mentors during your journey that impacted your life?
I would, well, one of them was my mentor. He was my squad leader in the military.
Mm.
I was at when I first joined the military, I still had the street. I was lazy, and why you always picking on me? The man always got his foot. I was always blaming others. And this white staff sergeant, because my thing was I would always question when I was told to do something. Why I got to do it? Why can't somebody, blah, blah. And he asked me a question, and it turned out to be an epiphany for me. He was like, he asked me, he like, Thompson, let me ask you a question. What if someone who outranked you told you to do something, and without complaint, without whining, you just went and did it? What you think would happen? I couldn't even answer that question. And that's when a light just hit me, and they're just like, man. And I swear, from that point on in the military, I just went on a rise. And it was just something so simple as sometimes just shut up and do your job.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was like I get nuggets. I've gotten nuggets like that. Another nugget was I was in the military,
Mm-hmm.
and The staff sergeant, we was watching Soldier. He was doing something wrong. And the staff sergeant walked up to him and told him, whispered in the ear, like, hey man, they watching you, stop what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess dude didn't learn. So dude kept doing it. And so I asked, I said, you ain't gonna say nothing? He was like, no. He said, I only say it one time.
Mm.
He's like, if you paying attention, you gonna catch it. But if you're not paying attention, I'm gonna let you fall because the first thing I'm gonna say is, I told you so.
Mm.
So it told me to pay attention.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes people will offer you information or nuggets, and you have to decipher, like, okay, let me peek that. So it's like I learned how to be observant. I learned how to pay attention. I learned pick up context clues, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have, but like I said, I had influences. Like one of my biggest influence, or one of my people, couple of people that I really, really looked up to,
Mm-hmm.
Charles Moreland and Charles Gill.
Ah.
Out of
Expound.
out of all of our guys that I grew up with,
Mm-hmm.
those were the only two that went to school
Mm.
and got their degree. And they did it while working jobs. And I looked at them and I was like, I could do that. That's who motivated me.
Yeah.
That's who I wanted to aspire to be like them. I was like, if they can get a degree, I can get one.
Yeah.
So they motivated me. And I used to tell them all the time, I was like, man, y'all don't know how much I look up to y'all. I want to be like y'all. You know what I'm saying? So those were early people, back to like Monty, but yeah, Jab and Gil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to look, I mean,
And
those
Gil
were,
did military too, right?
yeah, Gil did the military too. So his journey was his journey. But again, the fact that they continued on with their education,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
And you could kind of see the reward in their lives today, right?
Yeah, they didn't work hard for their money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and what I mean by hard, physically hard.
Yeah.
They may you know that mental is something else, but they didn't have to physically labor to get their bread, and that's something that I just in my head it's like it's easier ways to get that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree, man. That's my trajectory.
Mhm.
Listen, man, what does Sean read?
I I haven't sat down and read a novel in a while, um, but I'm more I read more for information,
Mm-hmm.
for knowledge. So, like I say, I'm learning about AI. Anything is knowledge based. I'm trying to be better at my job, but also be better as an individual. So a lot of things that reading has to do with, you know, gaining that knowledge to be better at what I do. So
Okay.
that's what I read. Like I say, I'll read about the journals, I'll read the specs, I'll read the reviews, and I'll read how to's, but anything that I'm reading is for me to get better at what I do.
Okay. Now, we about to have some real fun.
Let's go.
See, I know that you're a huge music head. And I'm not just talking about one genre. I know that
Mm-hmm.
you're very diverse in your musical taste, right? So I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and I just want to see what these answers are going to be, and we'll see whether or not we can agree on some of this stuff. All
Okay.
right, you ready?
Yep.
So this is Chicago, the home of house music.
Mm-hmm.
My first question to you: who would be on your Mount Rushmore of house DJs?
Frankie, Ron, Lil Lewis, and Farley.
Ah, by the way, I just interviewed Foggy.
Mhm.
Oh man, okay, okay. Uh, Frankie Ron, Lil Lewis, and Farley. I would probably take Lil Lewis out, and I would probably put Ralphie in there from Hot
Okay.
Ralphie Rosario.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Top 5 producers in hip hop. Top 5.
In no particular order.
No particular.
Premier, Dilla,
Dilla.
Dre,
Okay.
Manny Fresh,
Okay.
and it's a it's a toss up between Kanye, Timberland, and
Ooh.
what's that boy name? Because I'm Happy Singer,
Oh, for real.
Pharrell.
Wow. Wow. See, taking 5 is hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. See, because I would definitely go Dilla, Kanye, Dre, Premier, and man, it's really, really hard, but I like No ID, right?
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
No ID, but then you got Derringer, you got these new guys, man, who are really, really nice. And then Manny Fresh. Manny Fresh is, you can't argue with Manny Fresh.
yeah,
He produced. And I'm talking about he produced for like how many people?
yeah.
A
Juvenile,
whole
Lil
clique,
Wayne,
right?
all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's the best house party that you remember going to within the last decade? The poppin'est house party in the last decade. And I know for a period that COVID took place, but in the last 10 years, between 2015 and 2025, the poppin'est house party, because I know you'd be knowing about all the parties.
Well, ooh, man, it's it's so many. It's kind of hard, but some of the most memorable things I've had was the last Civil Room on 53rd,
The Silver Room. The
Block
Silver,
Park.
is that the one where Jazzy Jeff was there?
Yep,
Ah,
yep.
that
That was nice.
was off the hook.
That was nice.
Yeah.
They did, I think maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, they was doing like every Friday, they was doing something like right there off of Randolph and Harrison at that little park. And one time they had Mike Dunn and Alec King, and they rocked the park. They rocked the park.
Mm,
That one was nice. The first house music that they had at Grant Park was nice.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Uh, I can't pick what year, but the attic picnics are always nice.
Always.
But indoor parties, I would have to say one of my favorites was, I think, when I went to go see Lil Lewis. I
Mm.
went to a Lil Lewis party
How long
recently.
ago was that?
Huh? That was maybe 3 years ago. It was right off of Fulton, something right down there.
I think you sent me that information too.
Yeah, that one was nice. But like I said, it'd be so many. It's kind of hard, but those are a few parties that I still hear people speak about.
Okay.
That last one, that last Silver Room on 53rd, even the Brewfest was nice, but that last Silver Room on 53rd when they had Jazzy Jeff,
That was a doozy.
yeah, that was a
That was a
doozy.
doozy. Yeah, yeah. So we've talked about the Mount Rushmore of house DJs in Chicago. Now I want to ask you, because we got some hell of a DJs here in Chicago, especially
Yeah.
house. Who would you consider, in no particular order, the top 5 DJs of this era? Top 5 house DJs of this era.
Mike Dunn, Gene Hunt, Jamie 326, maybe Terry Hunter. That's it.
Mm. Terry Hunter's a maybe?
Terry Hunter, yeah, because he's a producer too. So, but I mean, like as far as rocking a party,
Right.
you
Yeah.
can't go wrong with Gene. You can't go wrong with 326, and you can't go wrong with Mike.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I may
Proud of
be,
all of them. We're proud of
I
all.
may forget one or two, but right offhand, those three just pop in mind. If I was to throw a party, and you say you can only get 3 DJs, whatever 3 DJs you wanted,
Yeah.
I would pick those three.
Okay. Yeah. And we're proud of all the DJs,
Of
man. They're
course.
doing their thing, man. They're doing their thing. So listen, man, before we get up out of here, Sean, give a message to the youth, man, who might not have a vision about what they want their future to be. Any message that you can give them, man, just lend a message to the youth for us.
To my young brothers and sisters, I say to you this: believe in yourself.
Mm.
Don't let nobody tell you what you can and can't do. Only you know that. Believe in yourself. Um, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
It takes a strong person to ask for help.
Yes.
You know, live in your truth. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a straight up person. Live in your truth. And more importantly, get your get your education. And I'm not talking about going to college. Get your education. Learn if your education is working with your hands, get your education, learn how to work with your hands.
Mm.
If you're gonna be a mechanic, get your education, get up under some cars with somebody that knows to teach you something. But the world is yours.
Yeah.
If you put in, you only gonna get out what you put in.
Yeah.
And if you put in a half-ass effort, rest and believe you're gonna get a half-ass result.
Yeah.
If you give it your all, 9 times out of 10, you gonna reap what you sow. So
Thank you for that, brother. So at the end of our episodes, I always like to afford our guests an opportunity to tell a story of their choice. This segment of the interview is called Big or Small, I Got a Story to Tell. In this section, you can tell a story no matter what it is, and hopefully, it will inspire somebody out there in the world. Now is your time as we close.
well, I could honestly, my story is I really got back into fitness and exercise on a whim. And that's kind of crazy. At the time, I was trying to date this girl and I wanted to see her. And she was like, well, I got to go for a run first and then maybe we'll go. So I was like, you know something? I'm going to run with you.
Yeah.
And I had on, not running shoes. I had on tennis shoes, had on basketball shorts. I mean, I wasn't, you would think I was going to play basketball, not run. But I started running and I think she only did like 2 miles. And I had been away from exercise for a long time, but it was surprising how it just came back to me.
Mm.
And she was just like, I thought you ain't run. And I was like, I thought I couldn't run. And it was just like, okay. And then I think for the next like 2.5, 3 years, I just started running like 3 times a week.
Wow.
I couldn't stop. And it was just like me and the girl broke up, but I kept running.
Yeah.
So I thank her for reintroducing me to fitness, but it was just like I was cool with getting fat and getting out of shape, but it was just funny. It was just like I just on the whim. She was like, "I'm going to run." I'm like, "I'm gonna run with you."
Yeah.
I'm running with her. I'm like, "Oh okay, oh okay. This is fun." And I just it bit me like a bug, and so I think I've ran I've ran at least, I would say, 12 to 15 races.
Mm.
The Shamrock, the Hot Chocolate, the Color Run, the Bank of America. Gil had a 5K on the midway I ran. And then those were just those. And then I was just running a lot on my own. In the wintertime, I would run like, I had tiered running. I would run like on Mondays 1 mile, Wednesday 3 miles, Friday 5 miles.
Wow.
Then I started going to 2, 4, 5. And it was just like I just kept running until I had to stop because my knees started hurt. And but that little 4 to 5 years, I had the best time of my life
So now
because
you're
I was
on
in
your bike, huh?
shape. Yeah, because it was like I was in the military, so for 10 years. So for 10 years, 5 days a week, we
Yeah,
working out
yeah, yeah,
every day.
yeah.
So, once I got out, that's the last thing I want to do. I had to work out. Now I'm on my own. I'm not working out at all.
Yeah.
And it was just like, but I know that I was getting in a situation where it was going to start affecting my health if I didn't do anything. So, and that's another tip I would like to give the kids is like, find some type of cardio exercise to stay in shape. We have too many obese kids out here.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they didn't grow up with us because that's one of the things I loved about where we grew up. We played sports. We was outside. We played football in the winter, basketball in the summer, baseball in the spring. You know what I'm saying? We used to play catch one, catch out. We used to go to the museum on Sundays on the super transfer, and we play it in the Museum of Science and Industry. We run it all through that.
You do understand that this generation doesn't know what a super transfer is, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, they don't know what a lot of stuff is, but for those you don't know, you pay one price on Sunday and you got to ride all the CTA.
Yes.
All day.
All day.
So yeah, that used to be because it was funny growing up in 48 building. I had two friends named Julius and Wayne. Wayne's stepfather was a bus driver for CTA. So every Sunday we go down to Wayne's house. Wayne would have 3 super transfers. We would go. That's when the number one still rolled down Drexel. We'll jump on the number one. We would either go to the museum or we would go downtown to Treasure Chest.
Treasure Chest.
Play video games, maybe go to the movies, and then come back. Sometimes we would go, and then as we got older, we used to go to Navy Pier because they were still shooting ball up at Navy Pier. Mm-hmm. And back in the day, growing up, like I said, we grew up in sports. Before it became a tourist attraction, Navy Pier was a rundown gym with a boxing ring. Mm-hmm. And it was so funny because the level of play was tiered. The first court was pros or people who was in the pros. The second tiers was the college players and good neighborhood players. The third tier was like, okay, you can play, but yeah. And then the fourth tier, you was bums, scrubs, fill-ins.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, but I've had an interesting life growing up in Hyde Park, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I mean, Cocoa Fest, growing up, seeing a young R. Kelly before all that other stuff, 10th City. I remember seeing them at Cocoa Fest on 47th and Drexel. Yeah. I remember when the Bally's Racquetball Club was just a dirt mound.
And then they start throwing parties there too, right?
Yes, they start throwing parties there. I remember Gills.
Gills, yeah, the big guy on the pitch.
You know what I'm saying? I remember the Y on 53rd going skating there on Fridays. See, I remember playing Little League at the Hyde Park Neighborhood Club for the Maasai Warriors. Yeah, I had a good childhood. Hyde Park's been very good to me. And on top of all of that, I've met lifelong friends.
Yeah, no doubt.
I've met lifelong friends.
Yeah, close-knit group to this day. Hey, listen, man, it's been an exceptional interview, Sean. Thank you for taking our time to sit with us, man, and chop it up. You're welcome back anytime. For Romie Thompson, I am the Kid Ride Allen.